Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm really excited because this is the first of a series of badminton videos that myself and Tobi Wadenka have created that will focus on the tactics for doubles and mixed doubles. Tobi is a professional badminton coach and player from Germany, so between us, you're in good hands. The different tactics and strategy involved in badminton is one of my favorite things about the game, but it can be quite complicated to learn and put into practice on court. So we hope that these tips will help make it simple for you to incorporate and use in a game. So in terms of attack, my coach always described the court in traffic light zones. So you know how there's the service area between the doubles serve and the single serve at the very back of the court? He always described that area as the red zone. So from there, you want to be quite cautious, and it's not really like go all out. It's kind of the building zone. And then about the same width of that, but just in front of the line, that's the orange zone. So that's where you can be a little bit aggressive, take some chances, but you're still a little bit cautious. And then again, all in front of that, that's the green zone. And that's when you take all the opportunities you can get and you go hard and try and really win from there and not be like safe. So mainly in the red zone, what you want to do is try and build the rally to get that shorter lift into the orange or the green zones. So in terms of building the rally, it's quite important to think about your placements and the speed in which you're playing the shot, and also your positioning on the court. So these three things are really important in dictating what kind of shots your opponent is able to play back, and also what kind of position you are in to get the next shot. So for example, if you're really reaching and you're in the red zone, then you don't want to be playing a huge cross, because that means your opponent has a lot of opportunities and angles to hit their shuttle back. And it also means that you're out of position, leading to your partner having to cover a lot of the court. So from the red zone, the main shots you want to play are kind of drop shots, clear shots if you want to, and safer shots that are more to the middle of the court or down the line. Because from a big cross from the red zone really just makes the court wide open, and it's such a big area to cover in the backcourt if they play it straight and you have to run all the way across the back. Or similarly, your partner has to jump out for that big one down the straight. So from the amber zone, that's when you can add a lot more smashes. You can mix up the angles a little bit more. Sticks shots or like half smashes are quite good from there, some punch clears. And because you are more into the court, it means you have more opportunity to hit down, and you also are hopefully not as out of position because you're not getting pushed right back into the corners. And then from the green zone, that's obviously go time. That's when you can kind of use your angles a lot more and try and really win from there and do some big jump smashes, stop drops, all that kind of stuff.
Just a year away now. Games in Tokyo. Champions. Traffic jam there. Backhand corner. Do good again from New York. Just
In the basics video, we were already talking about where to stand, where to position, and where to attack. And there's no real guideline what you always should do. It depends a lot on the type of players you are and your strengths and weaknesses. But there's one thing, a good rule of thumb that you can almost use any time in doubles and mixed doubles. And that is setting up your attack through the middle. So maybe playing a drop shot to the middle, maybe playing a steeper smash with not so much tempo to the middle, and that will make it difficult for your opponents to get out of defense. Usually you won't score with those shots, but maybe if you play a good drop shot, the next lift will be too short and then you can go for the points. And if you want to go for the points, then you can also go to the sidelines. So don't try to attack to the sidelines when you're all the way to the back. Maybe try that when you're a little bit further into the court and when you set it up the attack earlier and have a good position with your partner.
brilliant.
So in terms of serve, one of the biggest things is really getting to understand your opponent's habits and what they like to play. Of course, at a high level, people are going to have options and variety in their return, but it's really important to analyze an opponent and really notice when you serve to a certain spot, what they really like to play. Because when they're under pressure, when you hit a really good serve, or when they don't really have time to think and they're just reacting, that's when they're going to resort to these certain shots. And when you can serve there with the idea in your head that they're probably going to hit here, I'm going to wait for this one a bit more. So some of the obvious ones are when you serve to someone here, it's a lot easier to play that backhand this way as opposed to turning it that way. And similarly on the forehand, it's a lot easier to go that way as opposed to turning it that way. So these are some things that you can really try and wait for and set up for, and also be aware of when you do serve what you are looking for and letting your partner know what you are looking for so that they can cover the other things. Because there's no point in you serving and looking for the forehand if your partner's also looking for the forehand. You may as well look for the forehand and then they are looking for the backhand.
Oh yes, Yuki Kaneko. And it's the bronze medalist from last.
So when you serve at a advanced level, really what you want to do is have the shuttle going downwards so that then when they return, you can take it early and hit it down at the net, or it's coming up to the back person who can then keep the attack.
Most couples have a player that is stronger in the rear court, so maybe he can attack a little bit harder, and one player that is a little bit sharper at the net, maybe is a little bit faster with the racket and good at intercepting the shuttle. So you will also see with top players that they always have a formation where they almost get to that formation every time. So when they are in the attack, it's like a miracle, always the same player is in the back. But of course it's no miracle. There are some tactical strategies how you can get into those positions very, very often. And to be able to do that, learn what shots make you more likely to become the front court player. So for example, if you're playing a block to the net, short defense, and to your side, then you usually also have to follow that up, and then you become the net player. If you play that block shot cross court to the side of your partner, the way for you is much longer to the net. Your partner can move there a lot faster. So if you want to come to the net, that is maybe not the best option. Then you may be forcing your partner to go to the front and you're going to the back. So this is about finding situations where you can play a shot that brings you towards the net and your partner to the rear court. I talked about the shots that bring you more to the front court. Of course, it is also important if you're the rear court player to know what kind of shots help you to get to the rear court, or maybe help your partner to get to the front court. So one example is the block cross to the side of your partner, so he can move forward, he can follow up to the net, and that will automatically make you to the rear court player. You can move backwards. But in general, I would recommend you to play a lot of fast and hard shots. So don't take too much tempo out of the rally. Those hard and fast shots will most of the times create more chances for your partner to get in at the front, and you also don't have to follow up too much to the net. So these two things are good advice for people that want to go to the rear court and want to stay there.
So the main things you have to be aware of in terms of tactics for attack is rotating as a pair and following up after you hit a good shot. So usually in doubles combinations, there is more a person who is better at the rear court and a person who is better at the front court. Of course, you still need to be able to do both positions, but there's usually a better kind of combination in your positioning. So the tactic of the rear court person is to try and get a short lift and then be able to follow up and come forward. So this means that the front person needs to have good awareness of where the back person is when the shuttle is short and when the back person is going to hit and try and come forward. You can see it in this rally here where it's a short lift and then they're coming up forward and really trying to put pressure on the net, and both of them are pushing up together because the opponents find it hard to lift over them. So that means that as the back person is coming forward, the front person moves to the side, and then also if the shuttle does go over cross court, then the front person is then covering that. So the back person is no longer just covering the rear court, and they're both more focused on the front court because they have put more pressure on the opponent, meaning it'll be more unlikely for the opponent to be able to lift over them.
One more thing, and I think this is one of the most important things, not only on an experienced level, but also for beginners and on a basic level. You have to move even if you're not hitting the shuttle. So many players tend to just watch the partner when he is hitting a shot and see what he is doing, but in case that means that you're already losing time, and probably there will be some holes on the court and there will be some openings for your opponents. So always move even when your partner is hitting the shuttle. For example, here when you're attacking, then your partner comes into the play at the front court, and then also try to get forward a step. Try to cover the holes where the opponents can maybe play in with the next shot. And because if they play high again, you can see that here, then you have enough time to go back again. So don't wait, for example, in the rear court when you're smashing. Always get quickly out of the corner, one step, and try to cover the free spots on court as good as possible.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure to check out Tobi's channel if you'd like to see the beginners tactics for doubles. And let me know if you enjoyed this kind of tutorial badminton style video, and I can be sure to do more of these in the future. See you!